What is going on, DGen Nation? Teddy Kim here, bringing you another Fantasy Golf Degenerates podcast. This week for the Fedex St. Jude Championship. As usual, I'm here with everybody's favorite South African, Byron Lindeque. Brian, what is up, my friend?
Kendall, not doing too bad this morning. Thank you for that wonderful introduction there. Had a great time on the show with Greg last week. I think we're really looking forward to a fun time on Fantasy Golf Degenerates for the Fedex St. Jude.
And of course, our pod is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. Go to underdogfantasy.com. Use promo code, I don't even know if it's underdogfantasy.com, but you go to the site anyways. Use promo code Mayo. Get yourself a deposit bonus up to $250. Now, as you can see, I am rocking a nice little new jersey today for our new betting segment sponsor, kickbackgolf.com. Use promo code FGD15 to save yourself 15% on all of their products. Now, it's actually a pretty cool place. What kickbackgolf.com does is they make baseball jerseys and basketball jerseys, but they put golfers on them. So right now, I don't know if you're watching on YouTube, you can see I'm rocking the Korea with the Korean flag basketball jersey. And then I got to take it off so I can show you the back. If I could take it off. And on the back, of course, is little Sung J M. Sung J M's name with the flag and his number. Now, if you actually go to the website, they have a shit ton of different jerseys. Min Woo, Jordan Spieth, Texas jerseys. You got Wyndham Clark, U.S. Open jerseys. Sung Jae, Tom Kim has a jersey. Victor Hovland, Norway. That one looks pretty sweet. Brooks Koepka, Florida State basketball jersey. Jason Day, Cam Smith, Australia jerseys. JT, Alabama. The sick one, they got the teal-colored Coastal Carolina Dustin Johnson basketball jersey. Pretty sick, right? Reasonably priced, like $60, $65. A little bit for shipping. Like if you want to get a gift for like a friend, a buddy who's a golf fan, you don't really know what to get them. You don't want to get them like golf gear or golf like equipment or something like that. This is great. And the thing is, Christmas is coming in like 4 months. It's not as far away as you think. Use the promo code, save the money, and get yourself a sweet jersey. Now, they also have baseball jerseys. They have like a Scotty Scheffler, Augusta Green, Augusta Scheffler baseball jersey. The Thiegler jerseys are actually sold out. Somebody be loving the Thiegler basketball jerseys. Big fan of those. They got a Bryson DeChambeau, U.S. Open jersey, bat baseball jersey. A Scotty Scheffler, Texas. Tiger Woods, Stanford baseball jersey. Yeah, these things are fucking sick. All $60 to $70. They got hats. They got other different apparel. Use promo code FGD15. Let's show our sponsors, the DGen community, that we can spend some money on some products. Also, I would like to make more money. And of course, every jersey sold, I get more money in my pocket. Byron gets more money in your pocket. So if we've done you good throughout the decade that we've been doing this, go to kickbackgolf.com, spend some fucking money, use promo code FGD15. They got a whole bunch of cool shit. Now, I think they're sending me something else for next week. Byron, I think I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. So I probably won't ship it. I'll probably just wait till we go to Montreal in a couple of weeks, and I'll bring it over to you, and you can get yourself one. Producer Mike, you get a hat. Sorry, bro. Sorry, bro. You get a hat. All right. So get these cool jerseys. They're really nice. I washed it already. It was a double XL, a little bit large since I've been losing weight. It shrunk nicely. They're nice, man. They also have like the hand-stitched ones, where they have like the hand-stitched instead of like the press-on type. So you can get like either one. Go check it out. Go to kickbackgolf.com, our new sponsor of the betting segment. We're happy to have them on, and that's the longest commercial we've probably run. We'll probably ever run. But I like the product so much. It's so fucking cool. You can't buy like golf, these types of things just like anywhere on the street. But I mean, it's pretty sweet. I'm going to be rocking this at the President's Cup, so should be a good time. All right, so let's talk about last week. Thank you once again, Greg, Jeff, whatever your name is, for subbing in for me. I missed out. Yeah, I went on a bender last weekend, like a 3-day, like no sleep, like I'm 24 years old bender. Yeah, did not feel well Monday. I'll let you know about that. And I was actually sick all week. Missed a whole bunch of work. Didn't even go to work. So, in the name of science, I went on another bender this weekend just to see if I actually got sick, like I caught a bug, or if I can't do benders anymore. And you know what? I feel fine. Last week, I think I was just sick. I'm not even going to blame the bender. I went on another one this week, again, in the name of science, to see if it was true that I cannot do this anymore. You know what? I can, and I will, but probably not for a while. For the golf, I didn't think we were going to get in, right? Kudos to the staff over at Sedgefield Country Club for getting us 4 rounds in 2 days, basically 2.5 days, 3 days. It was really nice. It was an exciting final round. Lots of crazy shit fucking happened. When Grazerman pulled out for eagle, I flipped channels and I put the golf on the smaller TV with no sound. Started watching Game of Thrones. I'm doing the Game of Thrones rewatch. And then I wasn't paying attention. And I looked back and it was 17 all in like 15 minutes. I was like, what the fuck happened? I was like, I'm really glad about this because, of course, if you're on gupscorner.com, sorry, DJ Nissen, I was not on last week. I had the Aaron Rye on my final betting card, 30-1 with 8 places. That was outright number 7 of the year. Also had Cole, which snuck in each way at the very end, finishing 7th place. Got a little chop on that one as well. So each way hit 29 and 30 of the season. Here's the thing. I just started this each way thing. I don't even know if that's good. I feel like it's good because it's a large number, but like I probably bet like 190 each ways for the year. So I don't really even know if the 30 each ways is good. If you're an each way bettor who plays each way golf, go in the comments and let me know. Like, is that good? I feel like it's good, but I am not sure. I am not a professional bettor. Just started doing this. But the 7 outrights, I feel, is pretty good in the season where Scotty won 6. Now, I did have Scotty once. That was at 28-1 at the Players' Championship, though. Byron, what did you think of the event, and how'd you do last week?
Well, Kenny, I was quite happy to find out that I bet a 25-1 caddy this week with Billy Horschel pretty much going out of his way to make sure that Aaron Rye could get your guy across the fucking finish line there. Billy is just an anomaly, man. Like, he did not show up at all on Sunday morning, but then did his thing on, like, he just had that one round that completely got him out of the tournament. And then decided, well, you know what? I'm out of the tournament. I'm just going to be Aaron Rye's hype guy the entire afternoon. And I was like, dude, play your own goddamn golf. Make your own goddamn birdies. Leave this guy alone. He just could not stop touching him, could not stop speaking to him. I felt like I was watching myself on the golf course. You know, that's how I am when I'm with my buddies. You know, just completely hyping everyone up because my game sucks ass. And then just going from there. But Kenny, for Aaron Rye to have won after Griesemann took a quad and then quad putted, he did 2 things where he did 4 times more than what you typically should, you know. A 4 putt and a quad is what he needed to win by 2 shots. You know, like, what a wild back 9. Hitsatsuni was in the mix with his every slip per putt kind of thing. And he jacked one through the break there on the final hole as well. So these guys were just crumbling down the back there. But in all credit to Rye, he did what was needed in the moment. You know, like, did he really deserve to win the damn thing with Griesemann playing the way he was? Maybe not, but he did. And that's what it takes to win a golf tournament. You cannot crumble like Griesemann did. So congrats to him. My placement bets were shit. Sungjae was right on the mix there, went backwards in day 2. You know, Cam Young, I had for a top 10. I thought that was golden. I think he finished like 30th or something. Like,
that guy is got a problem,
He's got
a problem. Something's wrong with his ass on Sundays. Something's wrong because that shit. I mean, I thought he was one off the lead early Sunday. I took a nap, woke up, he was like in 24th place. I was like, what the fuck happened?
Putting from close. It's just he's broken right now.
Yeah.
So
that 4 putt was bad. That one, and then of course, Mr. Kuchar does his thing. He made some bullshit excuse. So if you guys don't know, Kuchar decided not to play the final 2 shots of the 18th hole on Sunday night because he was pissed off that he hit into a group and no one told him they were in the fairway. Because you can't line of sight, you can't see it. It's got a sort of an uphill and then it goes downhill. So you could not see the golfers on the fairway. So he was bitter about that. So he was like, and that's why he did it, because he was bitter. Or because, if he did end up birdieing that hole, it's an extra 100K. And we know how cheap fucking Kuchar is. 100K, even though he's won $60 million in his career, I'm sure the 100K played a part in why he did that. I mean, this has been a running joke for Kuchar for years, with Rory making fun of him a couple of years back about how tight he is with his money. I've told you stories about him being an asshole. We all know the caddy story. I got a new story this week. So a buddy of mine hit me up, told me that he played with Kuchar's nephew. It was either who just graduated. I think he just graduated college or high school. I'm not 100% sure which one. And this is, his sister's son, like very close in the family. And do you want to know what Kuchar gave this guy, his nephew, for his graduation? No money, not a nice check, not a part of the $60 million in just winnings, not including sponsorships. I'm sure he's north of 9 figures in his career if you add sponsorships. And what Kuchar gave his nephew, his family, his blood,
gloves,
signed Visor. A signed Visor and a card that said congrats. That's what he gave his nephew. I don't know if it's his only nephew, but I'm going to say it's his only nephew just for the story here. He gave his only nephew an orange Visor signed by himself for his graduation present. A guy who's made hundreds of millions of dollars in his career. So I think we all now know, like, Kuchar put on the biggest deep fake there's ever been in the history of golf. Like, for 15 years, everybody was like, man, this is like the nicest golly gee type of guy out there. What a good guy. Like, doesn't curse, seems extremely courteous, really good when he's in front of the camera. We all know that's bullshit now, right? I mean, he is probably one of the worst people on the PGA Tour. Like, the worst person. Cheap. I've told the ice cream story where him, Henley, Webb Simpson were all playing golf. A buddy of mine was caddying for them. Henley went back to the clubhouse real quick on the turn. And the Webb bought ice cream for all the golfers. But since Henley's golfer was gone, he gave his ice cream to Henley's caddy. Kuchar grabbed the ice cream from the caddy's hand and said, "This isn't for you," and threw it away in the trash. Basically, what we've come down to learn is that Kuchar. I also heard another story this weekend. The Kuchar stories were coming out in woodwork this weekend. Another Kuchar story. This guy played a pro-am with Kuchar back in the day. I'm not going to say when, who, whatever. So it was him and another golfer. They were paired together. Oh, it was Grillo. And they were paid. He was, and then each they were paying $100 birdies, the AMs, and they got to pick which golfer they wanted on the front nine, and then they'd switch on the back. And the pro golfers counted. So Grillo got sort of pissed off that this guy decided to pick Kuchar instead of Grillo. Grillo went out there, shot 31 in the front. Right? He knew about the bet. Grillo was all into it, fist pumping, fucking, birdies and shit on the pro-am. That's pretty fucking cool, right?
That's awesome.
Right? Like, you go to a pro-am, you're going to play a money game, and the pro is like all fucking in. That would make the pro-am awesome. So they, the other guy, he's like, okay, I'm going to get Kuch on the second. He tells Kuch, I love your teammate. And Kuch's like, whatever. Goes out there, shoots 44 on 9. 44. I shot 42 on a 9.
You shot 44 this weekend.
Right? I shot 42 on a 9 from the tips. Right? Now, the tips are like 1,600 yards, but still, from the tips, I shot fucking 42. And this guy out here goes and just loses this guy like $700, right? Grillo's over here just fucking balling, like fist pumping, like eyeballing Kuch and shit, like he's Steph Curry after the Olympics, making that three, just going like this to the Kuch walking around the green, right? Kuch just didn't give a fuck. So what we found out is Matt Kuchar is the worst person in golf. What he did doing that, he brought all the tournament people back for 2 shots. He said he did it to teach Matt Grazeman a lesson. He said, Kuch said that they should have stopped playing after what happened to him on the 16th hole. And to teach Max a lesson, he decided not to. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, you pansy ass cheapskate. Sorry excuse for a fucking human being. You fucking suck, and the world fucking knows it now. You are a horrible, horrible, horrible person. But if you made that birdie and lipped out on 18, I would have liked you because I had you at 8th place. I would have had him 8th place. Would have had him 8th place. They showed it. They showed the last hole. This motherfucker, he got some crazy temporary relief on 18. Got a rules official involved this morning. And then, hits a shot short, not bad on the green, chips it, lips out for the birdie. If he made that birdie, I would still hate him. I would still talk shit about him, but I would be glad about the extra $120 I would have got with the chop place that he would have given me. But that's Kuchar, fucking asshole. What a sorry excuse for a fuck. You gave your only nephew a signed visor. What the fuck are you doing? You made $100 million in your career. Like, just the worst person. Worst person. All right, there's no person. Phil used to be like that, but Phil's cool now. Now we're figuring out that Kuchar is by far the worst person in golf.
$54,850,719 earned in his career.
And you get a visor. An orange visor.
And I bet you Kuchar probably told the guys, like, hey, take off $22 because I had to buy this freaking visor for my nephew. I want that netting out of my career earnings because I want this tax deductible.
Yeah, or something. God, what a fucking asshole. Anyways, good event for me. Rye, great win. I'll take it. Grazeman, sorry. Runner-up, you learn. Back-to-back weeks, runner-up. But at the 3M, he was catching. This one, he was in the lead, and he couldn't. Maybe, you learn from these things. The guy obviously got skills. Obviously, he's got skills. Okay? So I expect him.
Dude,
I expect to win. I'm sure he's in the FedEx Cup. He's secured his cards for next year. He'll get a win. But that one fucking hurt. I will say, good DFS week again. Cascade Cornerstones are strong. 3 weeks in a row plus money on DraftKings. 3 weeks in a row with the 3-win trifecta. I lost my one underdog ticket that I put out because fucking Kuchar decided to shoot 3 over on the back 9 on the third round on Sunday, which sucks. But I just threw one out in the 4th round because, the way it was, underdog really couldn't work too well with all the stats they wanted with the jumbled of the courses. But I was able to find one of a couple of golfers with scoring and stuff like that. And I hit that, but I only put $50 on it. But that covered the bet I lost plus $100. So again,
it's got Kenny.
Yeah, triple winning week. I'm trying to end the week strong. I want to have 8 outrights. I don't want 35 each way. So let's see if I can get that done by the end of the season.
We need to keep track of your bets so we can see if you're actually making money off your each ways, or when you're not.
Yeah, no. I'm not. I'd have to win. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Like the minimum that I'm going to win on an each way is going to be like 4 units would be the minimum. The max sometimes can be up to like 7 or 8, because I usually bet a little bit more on the higher odds guys.
Okay.
Because so that's usually the way it works for me. The lower odd guys, I'll do that. I don't. I mean, I've made money this year. I'm up like 2,900 almost, something like that, 28 and change.
Okay.
I think I'm up for the season. I put in like a little bit more than $10,000 in bets, so I've gotten back like 13.
Perfect. We go, baby.
So we're doing okay. We're close to 60 units up all on the season, but I want a little bit more. I want to see how we can roll and see how this goes. Anything else you want to talk about before we move on to this week?
No, we just need your love. It's going to be playoffs now, and once this gets out, it gets into the grind and goes season, and then we need stick around, people. We love you guys. We're going to bring you the heat in the show anyway. Golf stuff's still going to be there, but as always, Kenny's going to be providing you with all the juices that you ever need.
I will say that the best game, this is probably the second best gambling year I've had. The first one was like 2018, 2019 season, and I hit like 5 outrights in the fall. So if you want to listen to the fall, I've gotten hot in the fall. So we shall see. This is usually the hot time of year for me, the end of summer throughout the fall. For some reason, I tend to do well. And of course, we don't get as many listeners in the fall because of football. You guys are missing out. Go ahead. You just want to listen to the betting section. We got time, coach. Do your thing. All right. All right. So let's move on, and we'll talk about our YouTube winner for last week. Our YouTube winner for this past week, his name is I just had it. Okay, his real name is, I don't know if this is his real name. It could be a fake name too, but it's Michael J. Scott, 310. On YouTube, he had Aaron Rye. His DK handle is Jaker. Maybe another Michigan guy. So it sounds like, or Maine, or Memphis. I don't know. But Michael J. Scott, you're going to go ahead and get a 3-man invite from me. And then, of course, Byron will be in on it. The guy last week, my old friend, did not win. Byron took that down. I did come in last place in that. And I used that lineup, I think, in Tambo's league, came in last place in that. So basically, not great. That's the only really bad thing I did this week when it comes down to it. But Jaker, we will see you in the 3-man this week. All right. So we're going to do our next, let's actually go to commercial break. Let's pay some bills here. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. It's also the fastest growing fantasy app in the industry. I personally like the pick'em games. Pick whether your favorite players will have a higher or lower stat total in this week's game for a chance to win big. Can win up to 100 times your money in a single night. Pick between 2 and 5 players to build a pick'em entry. Can also make rivals picks, which pits 2 players against each other. Now, the reason I like the pick'em games is because of these things called scorchers. There's these little chili peppers next to the golfers' names, and if you click on that, it adds to your multiplier, so you can win even more money. Sign up today with promo code Mayo and get your first deposit doubled up to $100, as well as an instant pick'em special. Must be 18 or over and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Just paying some bills. Underdog Fantasy, they've been coming out later with their numbers. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to not record our Underdog segment on the pod. We will record it either late Monday or sometime Tuesday. We'll release it as a short on Mayo Media Network YouTube channel. We'll also post it on both of our X accounts and the FTD account as well. So that's how we're going to be doing our Underdog segment from now on. It's going to be sort of separated a little bit from the pod, but we'll still be able to get it as long as you follow us, as long as you follow us on YouTube or you follow us on X. You'll be able to get those. So no real strategy. I didn't really delve into it too much this week yet. So we'll get on that probably, and you'll see it out probably tomorrow night. All right. So we are going to be doing our new kickbackgolf.com betting segment. So Kickback Golf, once again, go to kickbackgolf.com, use promo code FGD15. Save yourself 15% on anything you buy on the site. Again, amazing golf basketball jerseys with golfers' names. The Victor Hovland, John Rahm, Dustin Johnson, Bryson DeChambeau, Cam Smith, Jason Day, Scotty Scheffler, Jordan Spieth, Min Woo Lee, Sahith Theegala, Sung J M, Justin Thomas, Tom Kim. They got all your favorite golfers out on there, either basketball jerseys or baseball jerseys. Go out, get yourself, use promo code FGD15 at kickbackgolf.com. Makes a great gift, or you can rock it yourself. All right, let's go ahead with the kickbackgolf.com betting segment. Byron, who are you going with this week?
Kenny, I've got one name for you because I have not placed too many outrights this week. I've got like trigger FOMO. I have had one of the worst outright years. I just keep betting these guys that finish second and third and stuff. So just having a tough one, but Sahith Theegala, 50-1. Each way, 6 places. Let's go. This guy's been balling out at this venue in the last. He's so floating around the top of the leaderboard every now and then. You can never really see this guy coming. He kind of does it when he does. 50-1 is a fair number for me at someone who's played quite nicely in the past. And then I'll just rattle off my bubble ass bets here for the 4-leg parlay for top 20s. It's going to be top 20s this week because top 40s are tough in a 70-man field. So Colin Morikawa, Ludwig Åberg, Sahith Theegala, and Shane Lowry. If you put those 4 together in a top 20 parlay, it's about 10-1 plus 987. So you're pretty much going to get your 10-1 ticket on those 4 boys to finish inside the top 20. They all have 50% above top 20 rates in this field. So we'll see what the boys can do. Sahith Theegala, Shane Lowry, Ludwig Åberg, and Colin Morikawa for a 4-legger 10-1 top 20 parlay.
All right. I went ahead and filled my card out already because you know what? You're hot. When you're hot, you just roll them out. You just roll them out. That's where I'm going with. So I'm going to go. My shit is Korean heavy. My first one's going to be, actually, it's Asian heavy. My first one's going to be Hideki Matsuyama, 25-1 with 8 places. Next, Tom Kim, 28-1 with 8 places. And I'll go over all these guys when we run down the tiers because I am definitely rostering all these guys in DFS, and the majority of them are in my cash lineup, which is also my strong suit. Next one, Mr. Tommy Fleetwood. I think Tommy really gets it done. We saw it with Rye last week. British man going has been close a bunch here recently. Now, Tommy's been close for years. A little bit of difference, a little bit more scar tissue. I liked his way he played at the Olympics. Give me a little Fleetwood this week, and I'm going 30-1, 3 places. That's how much I think he can win. I'm only going 3 places. I'm getting the big number. I'm getting 30-1 for Fleetwood. Okay? Next, I really like this number. On Bet365, they have Sung J M win only enhanced, 45-1. I'm going win only for Sung J, 45-1. Giuseppe Straka, 55-1, 8 places. And then finally, Eric Cole, I'm going back to him. His 4th round on Sunday really helped me out, especially in one and done, where I finished 2nd in the regular season, which sucks because Cam Davis fucking missed the cut. Cam Davis makes the cut. I probably win the regular season, but he misses the cut. So I come in 2nd. I still get a nice little bonus for that. But the FedEx Cup playoffs are big in this league. The Slider Cup, I think the first 2 rounds are multiplied by 4. So in this one and done, you pick an American, you pick an international, and then wherever they finish, you add those two finish positions up. That's your score. Okay, and you want the lowest score at the end of the year.
Yeah.
These events multiply by 4 in the next 2 weeks. The Tour Championships multiplied by 6.
Wow.
So it's still a lot to play for this week in the Slider Cup and in the Mayo Cup. I'm still in the money. I think I'm in like 600 place. There's 2 weeks left of that. So the one and done is big. And Eric Cole helped out with that top 10 last week. All right. So let's move on to this week. PGA Tour, it goes ahead and heads to Memphis, Tennessee, at least a top 70 in the FedEx Cup standings. Head to Memphis, Tennessee for the Fedex St. Jude Championship. The tour has played the TPC Southwind for over 30 years, but this is only the second time it has hosted. The third time it has hosted a playoff event. Recently, before then, a couple of years, it was a WGC event. So strong fields. So if you look, you want to pay attention to like probably the last 5 years, because those fields are going to be very, very strong. 2 WGC events, 3 FedEx Cup Championship events. Those are the ones that I would look at. Prior to that, you get some weaker fields when it comes down to it. Now, for strategy-wise for cash, the way I'm going to go about it is I want 4 guys who can win. The 6K range is not horrible. So the way my roster, I have mine roster, I got 4 guys between 8,700 and 9,900, or 9,800, whatever Fleetwood is on top. I got 4 guys, all 4 of those guys I think I can win, and I got 2 guys in the high 6K range to fill out my lineup. Again, no cut event, makes it a little bit easier. Go for I'm going for a variation of stars and scrubs because I don't have anyone 10K and up. But I got 4 golfers from 8,700 to 9,900 in my lineup. That's how I'm going about cash. Cash has been pretty good all season. Not good enough for it to have a winning year yet. I need to hit like a $1,000 or $2,000 winning GPP probably to have a winning year, which sucks because I've won in everything else. And of course, DFS is just the hardest thing fucking possible. But it could have been a lot worse if it wasn't for cash. I will tell you that right now. Now, TPC Southwind, 7,250-ish yard par 70, 4 par 3s, 2 reachable par 5s. The course is definitely one of the, it used to be one of the 15, 20 most difficult courses on tour. Last season, they sort of tore it apart. There wasn't any wind, and it was wet. What I'm seeing right now, I haven't looked at the wind forecast, but I would not be surprised if it is soft. In this area, we've seen a lot of rain. I know the hurricane came by, and even though Memphis is not on the coast, I'm sure they still got some remnants. So I would expect it to be wet, but make sure you see the weather forecast, because if it's dry and firm, this course is totally different. Actually, every single course in the PGA Tour, if it was dry and firm, would be totally different. But if it's not, if it's soft, I expect these guys to go out there and, give me a birdie fest.
I'm not seeing any rain, and it's 85 degrees and above pretty much leading up to the week.
So maybe it will firm a little bit. Maybe we can get, 15 under par. I sort of like the way Sedgefield played last week, even though it was soft as the week went on. Like Sunday, by the end of Sunday, balls are getting a little bit of run, out there. It's very, if you look at it, Sedgefield and 3M, very similar in ways to go about what you're looking at this week. The back nine is especially tough. Back nine is usually tough, as the par 5 16th is the only hole that plays under par normally. Last year, I think it was a little bit different. The par 3 14th is always in a mix for the most difficult par 3 on tour, and the final 2 holes, very hard. On average, there are over 200 bogeys or worse on the final 2 holes every time this tournament has come to town, except maybe last year. Now, off the tee, golfers will face narrow zoysia grass fairways that are very difficult to hit. If golfers miss the fairway, which they will, they're going to have to deal with some trees, bunkers, and a good amount of water. Speaking of water probably on 10, 11 holes, similar to what we saw last week before the Olympics at Twin Cities. Now, the only difference is a little bit more driver heavy there. Now, a little driver less to driver type course. A lot of clubbing down here, a lot more positional. So, you're not going to have the advantage if you're going to go out there unless you're Rory, unless you're Oberg, who can sort of be a little bit more aggressive. We've actually seen that happen with Rory, at this course before. Now, the rough is this Bermuda rough. It's only going to be about 2.5, 3 inches, but we saw last week, 2.5, 3 inches of Bermuda is thicky, thick, like thicky, thick. And so it's tough. You got to hit these fairways, right? I think, the only person that was outside of like a top 20 or 25 in driving accuracy that's won this event recently is Willie Z, and that's because he hit like every single fairway from the rough. That's not going to be easy to do, right?
Every green from the rough.
Every green from the rough, yes.
Yeah.
Now, and the big difference is like the Zoysia fairways. The difference between Zoysia fairways and a Bermuda rough is even bigger than what we saw last week, because Zoysia, it fluffs up your ball a little bit. You get that nice little fluff up where it's almost hitting it off like a grass tee almost, where it's like raised and spongy.
Those mats.
And it's like this carpet type feel. And it's really nice hitting off the Zoysia fairways. I played, I think, once, and it was totally different. Like I felt like I could hit every ball so clean. It was definitely, and I know the pros have to feel that same way. So it's like a decided advantage to hit these fairways. And that's why people club down. And the course isn't that long either. So they're able to club down and be able to hit these fairways. Now, there's only balls. There have been more water balls at TPC Southwind than any other course on tour since 2003, even more than Sawgrass, right? Like, there's a lot of fucking water on here. Now, luckily, the rough is still not tall, but you can get some problems with those flyer lies. Distance control is going to be tough when it comes to hitting out of these rough. Now, on approach shots, golfers are going to see smaller than average greens, like around 4,000, 4,500. It's pretty small square feet with, bunkers and water surrounding them. A lot of long par fours on this course. Nearly half of all approach shots come from the 150 to 200 yard range. So finding golfers good mid-iron games going to be important. Greens are tough to hit on. Not that undulating. Pretty easy to putt on. But they're small. And we've seen shitty motherfucking putters do well here. So don't throw those guys out, okay? Ball striking is probably the key to this course, especially approach play. You get more strokes gained from approach on this course the last like 5 years when all the studs have been playing than like many other courses. Like 60 to like 70% of their total strokes gained have been coming from approaches, like the leaders in the last since the big dogs started playing this every year. So this is an approach important course because people are going to be going ahead and hitting less than driver. They're going to be hitting the greens, the fairways, hopefully. The greens are small, but if there's not that much wind, around the green plays a part, and it grows the windier and the firmer the conditions are. So we'll have to check the weather for that. What are you looking for in golfers this week?
I'm just going to double down on what you said there. This week, approach is a little bit more important than to an average. Accuracy off the tee, 4% more important than to an average as well. So between the two of those situations, you are looking pretty prime. The majority of the shots are coming from 200 to 125. Like you got about 73% or so, 64% of shots will come from 125 to 200. So basically, 2/3 of your shots will be coming from that range, which is pretty normal, but slightly more than to average as well. So just a combination of all that stuff. And then the penalties at this venue are significant, compared to, it's almost double the amount of penalties at this golf course than to average too. So, just guys that can keep it safe.
Bogey avoidance a lot of the times.
Yeah, or doubles.
When it's a penalty-heavy course.
Yeah.
That's something to look at. All right, so let's get to these tiers for the week. I mean, in the 10K range, we got Morikawa all the way to Scotty. Now, Scotty and Xander, not the best course history at this place. And this is a somewhat sticky course. It's not huge, but somewhat sticky. What are you doing in this top section? Are you going to play those two, or is this the week to finally fade them?
Well, I guess I could have said that I bet them both for top 5 and top 10 as well, but we'll put that as a little sneaky Easter egg there for everybody. But if I've done that, I think I'll be going to them at the top here. If they're going to, it's all ownership for me, Kenny. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All 5 of these guys are my top ranked golfers as well. So there's no real big difference between all of them. I do think the odd man out for me will be Rory. I just seem to always like to fade Rory McIlroy when there's that opportunity. I don't know where his game is right now. He's probably going to land up burning me again, but I love Ludwig and Colin at the bottom there. The price tags for what they can provide you is so delightful at 10-2 and 10 flat. It's hard to kind of leave them alone when, especially we got the 6K range as the floor.
I love Rory McIlroy this week. The reasoning behind this is he's played well on this course. A couple of top 10s, really, really strong finishes. And it's a course where it mutes his biggest weapon, right? It's a course that mutes his driver. And he can still go out there and put up extremely strong finishes at this event with his driver being in the bag way more than it normally would on a typical Rory course. To me, that screams that he likes what he sees, that it suits his eye, especially from approaches and putting. Because if Rory is not using his driver and he's still out there punishing this course year in and year out, count me the fuck in. I was very tempted to go 9-1, not bet a couple of the 2 higher guys, and go 9-1 on Rory. I did not. I decided to go a little bit more, have 6 guys in my card, but I thought about it. And decent showing at the Olympics, trying to save face for the end of the year after the debacle at the Open Championship. I'm pretty sure Rory thinks about these things. I think he's somewhat image conscious, and he knows, people are still thinking about that. And this is a far out there narrative. So, what I'm saying? This is me thinking out loud, but I like Rory. He's my favorite play in the 10K range. I'm not sure if I'm going to play anyone else. The one person I do want to talk about is Morikawa, because this seems like this course should suit him, right? But like Golf National looked like it should suit him. He's been close a bunch. His iron game has been very good, like it normally has. He's been very, very strong tee to green. He's number 2 in my model, he's above Xander in my model in the last 24 rounds, just below Scotty. Do you think he's going to be popular? He's burned so many people for so long. Do you think people are going to go off him, or is the price tag and too good?
Well, with Tommy beneath him as well, I think it's hard to give up on Tommy as well. I think people probably like Tommy more than they like Colin this week, given Tommy's history here as well, given, his decent finish at the Paris Olympics. It's always nice to just click a name that's not $10,000, Kenny, versus 9,000. I think that helps people.
I'm really interested in Morikawa's ownership. If he's like 15, 70% or less, yeah, I probably have to go with him. You know what I'm saying? Because, I think he, like Rye, like Tommy, like a bunch of other golfers, he seems like he's due, right? He's been playing very, very well outside of the Golf National. His ball striking is there. His short game is so much better. His putting is improved. He's just not, something is missing. I don't know exactly what it is. But like this course should suit him really fucking well, right?
Yeah. It's a made in heaven for him. Yeah. It's just whether or not he gets it together, Kenny. But even at this price, you still find us with the top 5, which he does about a third of the time now anyway. So, you got a good shot there at Colin just finishing high at the top.
9K range, first cascade cornerstone is going to be Tommy Fleetwood. I think he's going to win. I think Tommy is going to win. Seeing his countryman last week finally break, his little drought. He's been, Aaron Wright's been playing for a couple of years now. He's been close a bunch. After a good showing at the Olympics, having a little bit of time to digest what happened at the Olympic Games. It's no shame to lose to Scotty Scheffler. He could have, he probably, a bogey on 17 hurt. But a silver medal, He should still be proud of that. He should be still flying high. He's played this course well before in the past. When it comes to a model, he's top 15. Again, good form, good history. Model says he's good. I'm going to play him. Tommy Fleetwood, first cash game cornerstone.
Is Billy Horschel going to be on his back? That's the question. Because in order to win, you need Billy Horschel to caddy.
I'll take that. Billy Horschel, Tommy Fleetwood, final pairing where Billy, sort of shits the bed and just becomes Mr. Caddy again. I'll take it. It worked once. I won with Rye. Let's do it with another Englishman. Let's do it. Let's get this fucking monkey off Fleetwood's back. I don't give a fuck if it's a no-cut event. Let's get him his win. It's going to happen. It's going to happen this fucking week. Put your money down. 30-1, 3 places. Tommy Fleetwood. It's going to happen. First cash game cornerstone. Oh, and guess what? I had Ryan in my cash lineup last week too. So there you go. It wasn't one of my cash game cornerstones, but I had Ryan Woodland as my 2 non-cash game cornerstone picks. Both did pretty fucking well. Now, my next cash game cornerstone is going to be Hideki Matsuyama, of course, silver or bronze at the Olympic Games. He has some good form, good course history, iron game, once again, above average. It looks like it's coming back to where it was. You don't have to worry about his driver, which is the weakest part of his game, because hopefully he clubs down, plays positionally. If it comes down to it, he misses some greens. He's the best around the green in this field. Well above average from 150 to 200 yards. Give me Decky as my second cash game cornerstone. I'm going to play Patrick Hanlon as in GPPs this week. Again, it looks like his game's coming back. It looks like he's finding what he missed throughout the majority of the year. He's gotten hot at this point in the past. So I'm going to go ahead and think that Cantley's back. I'm going to play a bunch of Patrick in GPPs. Who you going with in a 9K range?
Denny, love your Cantley call there. Hideki, I think is going to be popular, but I like him too. I'll be playing some Russell Henley at 9,000 flat. This guy's changed himself from being like this consistently top 20 guy to now he pops inside the top 40. Top 10 quite a lot, more than you'd think. And at a venue like this, think about the stuff that Russell Henley does well. Keeps in the fairway, hits his irons well. Yeah. Now he's putting like a beast. Those are the 2 ball striking aspects that typically you need here. He's got in abundance. So give me Russell Henley. Also surprisingly poor performances at this venue, though, in the past. So maybe that keeps the ownership down. I think he's a different kind of a golfer entering the week. Let's see what he can do. That's going to be my like sneaky player. I don't even know if
I like both those guys at the lower end. Connors and Henley seem like they should fit this course a lot.
Yeah.
I think they both should. And Connors has been, you've seen a little bit more flash from him in the last couple of months. Than you have. I don't think he had a top 10 prior to the last couple of months, and he finally had, I think, 2?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, he's got a few more top 10s now, but no top 5 still. He just doesn't have any upside for you. That's the problem. So I'm out on him for that.
We'll see. I mean, it's not like he can't win. He's won twice on tour. We'll see if he can come back to it, but I sort of like those guys down below. And that sort of makes me why I only want to play one guy in a 10K range. It's either I'm going to play one guy and play those 2, or play like him and Morikawa and skip one of them. You know what I'm saying? It's probably I sort of like Henley better than Connors. So I like the way you're going. Anybody else in the 9K range?
Not really. I like Tommy-ish, but I'm not going to be playing him. I think he's going to be very popular.
Yeah, I just think he's due. Again, Tommy, I feel is due. Sungjae, I think is due. And of course, that's my next cash game cornerstone. In the 8K range, I'm rocking his jersey. The guys that had, not the best finish last week, but, been playing really, really good golf for months. And the ball striking has been good. He's played well in this course before. He's going to be my 3rd cash game cornerstone this week. Other 8K plays that I will play. Sammy Burns, Butterfish boy, right? We still got to make sure we still got to get you on that bet here coming up. But I do like Sam Burns, again, playing excellent golf. Again, the numbers for Sam aren't going to be eye-opening, right? He's
just butt opening.
What?
Just not eye-opening, just asshole opening.
Anyway, they're right in the middle. He's ranked 35 in my model. I'm not going about the model. He's been playing very well. He can putt his ass off on these easy putting courses. Give me a little Samuel Burns. And I think Aaron Rod, I'm going back, dog. I'm going back because this course seems like exactly what you needed last week, right? But what he did last week was hit a shit ton of fairways and hit a shit ton of greens. You do that on any course, right? You're going to do well. But on this course, especially because, he's not the best putter, but we've seen shitty-ass fucking putters do well on here. I think the price is fun. Definitely going back to Mr. Aaron Rod. Mr. Iron Covers, Mr. Tommy Two Gloves once again. But I'm going back to, what do you like?
Yes, I'm going to go with Billy Horschel as well. I mean, he's got some solid history here as well in the past. Some solid top 25 finishes prior to his miscut in a year or two ago. I mean, his recent form is really trending quite nicely as well. So Billy's doing some good stuff. He fits his golf course quite nicely. So Hit the Guy's got a pair of 13 place finishes here in his 2 starts. He's $8,600. I love what he's getting up to. He can do everything. That's what you need at a golf course like this. And then Shane Lowry. Love what Shane Lowry can get up to at a venue like this. I think, just thinking about his game, he can get cold with a putter every now and then. Like we said, Kenny, Justin Thomas and Brooks, both 1 year, I think, or DJ, both 1 year without gaining strokes putting. So I think Shane Lowry kind of fits the bill there with the ball striking. He's so accurate off the tee. His ball striking is incredible. Love what Shane Lowry's been up to over the last little while. And then I'm going to roll Sungjae Im out with you there along with Tom Kim. I think these two guys, pretty much similar situations. Tom played great year last year. Love what Tom's been up to as well lately too. So this 8K range has actually got a lot of decent options, and if Justin Thomas is an I owned, I'll probably dive into him for a few random, lineups here and there.
Yeah, no, I could play JT. I'm down with that. Shane Lowry, I can get down with that also.
Jesus, I think I just gave off the entire 8K range there, basically.
It's okay, though. It's okay because, you got to fill out your lineups with some of these guys anyway. So, yeah, I do like it. Why don't you go into the 7K range, my friend?
All right, I'll just rattle off everyone again. No, Alex Noren looks great. Christian Bezuidenhout, Akshay Bhatia. Those 3 guys right in the bottom of the 7s there are 3 options that I'm a big fan of. And then betting on $7,600. This dude, he just gets it done, Kenny. Somehow he just finds himself in the 20% of his finishes have been top 5s in the last 12 months. For a $7,600 golfer, that's likely to replicate itself at some point again. Why not this week? Let's see what he can do. And then Wyndham Clark came racing up the leaderboard at the Olympics. No one outscored him on the final 3 rounds of golf. Yeah. Even Scotty and Tommy, I think, matched him.
Le Golf National, very similarities.
Very similar.
Similarities.
TPC Sawgrass, he's played nicely there as well. So if he can just avoid going 4 over in the first 5 holes or 4 holes, we're looking good for Wyndham Clark. So I don't mind.
He's got a lot of shit because of being on the Olympic team over Bryson, but 3 top 10s in his last 4 starts.
And he kicked Colin Morikawa's ass playing for his country too, after being way
3 top 10s, and one of them on a course where, very similar to this. Yeah. Similar distances, similar, less the driver off the tee. I can get back. I can get on a little windy seat this week. I do like your Benny Ancon. Brian Harmon, again, another guy who seems like this should fit, right? It should fit. Top 10 in my model. Approach game strong. Avoids bogeys. Hits a fucking shit ton of fairways. Again, like in the Morikawa light mode right here. Let's see if we can actually do it with these guys. Davis Thompson, good showing last week. $7,400. Seems like a fair price. One of the top birdie makers on tour in the last 2 or 3 months. We're making a shit ton of birdies out there. Giuseppe Straka does not mind playing against the big boys. I like him at lower, like the below 7K ranges. Anytime there's a strong field. And we've seen him on Zoysia do really well at Eastlake before. So I like Giuseppe down here. Bazine makes a lot of sense. Noren makes a lot of sense. But I think my favorites are going to be Harmon and Giuseppe. What do we do with Homa? Homa looks lost. I'm worried about Homa.
Lost. And he doesn't do well when it's like water hazard abundance everywhere. You know, like
he did finish top 10 here last year. I think he finished sixth here last year. Last year was more of a birdie fest, a little bit softer conditions, a lot easier to play, less wind, something maybe we'll see again this week. We'll have to see as the weather goes. And you normally say you play home on home courses. Home as a top 10, I consider that home course. But the guy looks lost. And the thing about him being lost is, he wants to, because, he was riding high for a couple of years, right? I mean, because he was, struggling before. He's been through the struggle, right? And to go through the high that he went, and now this new low, it's got to be weighing on him. Because he's been there before, this low, and it sucks. And then he felt the high of highs, where he was one of the top 5 best golfers in the world, maybe for like a year, right? A year and a half. He had that feeling, and you could tell, he's frustrated when you listen to his press conferences, stuff like that. I really hope he turns it around. But you know who he reminds me of?
Ricky
Molinari without the major. And I hope I'm wrong. But that's what he reminds me of.
Why?
Because a guy who sort of middling throughout his career, I had a couple of wins, but, wasn't a big time. And then for about a year and a half, went ballistic, right?
Yeah.
Was one of the best golfers in the world for about a year and a half. Got his major win, won a whole bunch of tournaments, got to inside the top 10 in the world, and then he lost it again. And he hasn't been able to find it since.
I also wonder what Max's situation is, Kenny, when it comes to like having a baby. He just had a kid, a year or so ago, and his decline has gone pretty much just a few months right after the kid was born. He played okay, and then you being a dad, I bet you 100% he's given more time to being a dad than he did his golf game, because prior to that he was probably dedicating a lot more time to golf than what he is now. So it's probably taken a hit. I understand it, maybe a year or two goes by and he gets his stuff figured out again.
I hope so, because he's a good guy.
No,
he's a good guy.
He'll bounce back.
I think it's good for the game.
Yeah.
Right? Just the guy out there, on his straight shooting. And it sucks that it seems like he's going through a downward trend now. And I hope he picks it back up. I don't think it's going to happen this week. But
not here. No.
Yeah, I don't think so. Anybody else in the 7K range you're keying up on?
Will Zalatoris, $7,000. He's been on documented interviews now saying that his back seems like he's not worried swinging the golf club anymore. His ball striking, Kenny, has been solid. His distances seem to have ramped up now recently. I think he's got 5 of his last 7 have all been gaining distance on the field. This golf course, he can see it up nicely. Yeah, he's obviously won here in the past. It's been the putter that's been his biggest issue. Maybe the putter bounces back this week. I think the ball striking for a $7,000 golfer it's fine. His approach plays inside the top 20. I get it. Rather be ahead of him than behind him. What I'm saying.
No, I agree. I think you're right. I think you'd talk. I'm going to go ahead and click his name. I'm going to go ahead and click little Willie Z this week. The thing is, when you look at my model, everything's
ass
red.
Yes.
It's horrible.
Yeah. But he's 7K. He's 1 year.
He did say he felt better. Maybe he just knocked off, I don't know, a little bit of rust or something. I don't know. Because he didn't play for 3 weeks before that.
Yeah. And it will click with the putter. Yeah. It's the biggest issue for him right now. So I'm excited.
6K range. I'll go ahead with my final cash game. Cornerstone is going to be Ben Griffin. I had $6,700, $6,600. One of the best iron players in this field.
Yeah.
In the last 3 months. Top 5 in approach play in the last 3 months in this field, which includes, Scotty and Xander and Rory.
Colin.
He's top 5 up in this bitch, right? And he's solid. He's top 10. He's top 6 in both 150 to 175, 175 to 200 in the last 3 months. Top 6 in this field. I think he had a top 10 last week. And he's finished top 25 here last year. So give me a little bit of him. Wait, did I say Sungjae was in my cash game? I said I meant Tom Kim was one of my cash game cornerstones up top. So I apologize about that. So my cash game cornerstones are going to be
just give all 5 of them, Kenny.
I know. I will. Fleetwood is $9,900 or $9,800. Decky $9,300. Tom Kim $8,900. Sorry about that. But I do have Sungjae in my cash line. That's where I was confused. He's not officially a cornerstone, but you can go ahead and plug him in if you like. My final cash game cornerstone is going to be Ben Griffin. This leaves you, I think, like 15-4 around there. And I'm filling out my final spot with Mr. Eric Cole down there at 6,700. So I just gave you my whole cash on him. We won 3 in a row. I think 4 of the last 6. Something like that. So we're getting there in cash. I just gave you my lineup. I'm going to fill it out, Mr. Eric Cole. Again, last week, I was pissed at him the whole week until he made the cut. Basically on the number. I was happy about that, but he sort of, fledgling play Sunday morning, but then back 9. Back nine on the final round. What do you have? 7 birdies, a bogey, and a par? 7 birdies, a bogey, and a par. Found something, I would say, right? And he's been there, like, the couple of events before, not including anything that was links golf, but the pre-Euro events, he had a couple of top 10s there as well. He's playing these type of courses way better than like the difficult, extremely hard, type courses. I like him. I like the fact that there's no cut. I think he can, be down the leaderboard a little bit, but then have one and a half good rounds. It just bounces him back up. And the 6,700 top 25 would be pretty money in cash. And I like Cole for that. So fuck it. My cash lineup this week: Fleetwood, Decky, Tom Kim, Sungjae, Cole, Griffin. So 4 guys from 8,700 to 9,800, and then 2 guys in that higher 6K range. That's what I'm going with cash. That's how that's how I'm going to roll. You go ahead. Who do you like in the 6K range?
Yeah, I mean, Ben Griffin, I think a little flop back candidate's going to be Cam Davis. I love these kind of layup courses for him a lot. Was playing great leading him to last week, and just kind of, last week was a weird week, Kenny, with the weather and stuff. So, I'm not going to take too much stock into it. Either you had it or you didn't. Might have had, like a weird break of things going on there. So Cameron Davis, I'll be going back to him there. How can you not go back to Max Griesemann? I feel like at $6,900, you're getting one of the hardest golfers on the planet right now. I don't know. Take a gamble on him if you're playing a few extra lineups. And then in EVR, in his one appearance here, I think he had a 7th place finish back in 2020 or 2019. Is the only appearance at TPC Southwind. He's been playing some solid golf as well. The putter has just been his thing, and he's repeatedly doing it. So I don't mind him at all. And then Austin Eckroat and Mackenzie Hughes at the bottom of my barrel over here. Mackenzie Hughes, one of the best putters in the field. He is the best putter in the field this year. Give me that. He's a contrarian model fit. He's not going to pop hard for you there, but he's a great putter. He gets it done. He's gained the 20th most strokes this year. And then Austin Eckroat's ball striking. He's the opposite. If you could get those two together in the same profile, man, oh man, that looks good. But Seamus Power at $6,100 as well, starting to find his groove a bit. Made it on. I think he needed to get through the bubble, and he did. So these guys that have that exhilaration of just kind of making it on the number kind of thing. You never know what these guys get up to. They feel like they're playing with house money and can go on a run like Cam Davis did last year.
I like Maverick McNeely. I get a decent showing again last week. Could putt his ass off. Iron game's not the greatest, but he the thing is, he hits so many fairways, right? If you hit enough fairways,
the iron game doesn't have to be good.
Stroke gain approach don't have to be that great. Yes. Like if you're hitting again, the way stroke gain approach works is if you're 150 out and you hit it, and the baseline for 150 is 20 feet, right? And you hit it to 22 feet, 23 feet consistently. I mean, you're going to be losing a bunch of strokes right there. But it's only like 2 or 3 feet difference. You know what I'm saying? Right? It's not like he's so stroke gain approach can be a little bit tough, especially for a guy who hits so many fairways. So I like Maverick. We nearly a lot. Hits a good amount of fairways. Good from 175 to 200. Really good on longer par fours from 450 to 500. Exceptional around the greens. It can put his ass off. So I do like him. I'll go back to Johnny Vegas, coming off a high win, coming off getting into the Fedex Cup playoffs with a decent showing last week, because I think he was out and got in, or he was right on the board and stayed in. It was one of those. You know, I'll get down a little Vegas because, I mean, the ball striking, he's been there. 11th in tee to green in the last like 2-3 months in this field. So give me a little bit of Vegas. And I do like Seamus Power. I like your call on that. All right, anything else?
Kenny, it was good to have you back on the show, man. I missed you a little bit last week. So I'm hoping the vibes bring me some success again this week.
All right. Sounds good. Tell them where they can find you.
At rotoballer.com. You can find all my stuff over there. And I'll be doing back 9 bets tomorrow night, 7 Eastern on the Mayo Media Network. Same one you're listening to on this show. 7 Eastern, I'll have all my placement bets, all my outrights for you guys there, and doing a Q&A. The chat on that channel since I've moved to Mayo Media has been awesome. The people bringing the heat. I've been doing shoeies, Kenny. They're like, if we have a good week, you know, you can almost convince me to do anything on that show. So, you know, the better weeks we have, the more exciting the show can be. So catch you guys on back 9 bets tomorrow.
Once again, our show is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. Go to Underdog Fantasy. Get yourself a deposit bonus. Use promo code Mayo. Get yourself a deposit bonus up to $250. Or Underdog plays will now be shorts on the Mayo Media Network YouTube page and on our Twitter page. So you will see those for us coming up here soon. Also, make sure you go to kickbackgolf.com. Use promo code FGD15. Save yourself 15% on all of their cool shit. Their golf basketball jerseys, their golf baseball jerseys. They have a wide array. I'm thinking about that Dustin Johnson, Coastal Carolina. That one's pretty slick. That one would work. I would rock that on another 3-day bender any fucking day, right? It would just fit, right? It'll just fit. So make sure you go to kickbackgolf.com. You can find me on X at KendoVT. You can find my article every week on GupsCorner.com. Use promo code Kenny. Save yourself 30% on a sub to Gups Corner. All right, should be a fun week. First week of playoffs. Let's win some motherfucking money. DJed Nation. So should we do overtime with FGD or FGD?
Let's go.
Overtime. All right.
Let's go.
Did you watch
season finale of House of the Dragon?
Yeah. It wasn't great, right? It wasn't great.
No.
Right? It wasn't great. I think it should have been the first episode of season 3. Right?
Yes.
That's how it should have started, because here's the thing about the season finale of House of Dragon. And if you haven't seen it, you should. I'm going to spoil fucking everything. So cut your shit off. And okay. But like Damon bending the knee is a big deal, right?
Huge.
I mean, that was basically the whole like storyline between Rhaenyra and Damon, like in season 2. Like, can Rhaenyra really trust Damon, right? Because I mean, like, of course, she knows what Damon really wants, and he's only getting it halfway by being, King Regent, right? He's not even really the motherfucking king. And he's like, see some witch demon dude, like what's the bitch from the Red?
The 3-eyed raven, basically. Yeah.
He's what's her name, Minnesera or whatever the bitch's name is. Game of Thrones. Missandra, right? Yeah. And I've been watching that shit. That bitch, what? That bitch Missandra. She's just banging random dudes and then spitting out demon children from her vagina. I just saw that shit, right? Again, like, and old what's the dude who was who ends up being who's deceased, who was fucking Baratheon's hand, not Renly, Stannis in his hand, right? And he sees old bitch just fucking shoot out demons from her pussy, like demon pussy, like that shit was wild. But anyways, that's what that new girl that's hanging out with Damon reminds me of, right? She's putting all these like weird thoughts. He's seeing like all this crazy shit, right? And so you like don't know like really what's going on. He's like, fuck it. He bends the knee, gets the army. Like, I didn't realize he got like all of fucking Westeros to fight for him, right? I mean, like when you see that scene,
the Riverlands,
yeah. I mean, he got fucking a shit ton of people to fight for him. He did his fucking job, And then to bend the knee like that is such a big deal because, you would think Damon is a man of honor. We'll see, right? We'll see. And also watching this season of Game of Thrones, in Game of Thrones season 3, they spoil what happens to Rhaenyra. Like, I don't know. Do you want me to tell you?
By watching Game of Thrones that you know what happens to, well,
Rhaenyra.
Eventually, I'm not going to, don't tell me. But
okay. Well, I mean, there's a scene where Joffrey is walking a hot bitch with the titties.
There's a lot of those in Game of Thrones.
Tyrell.
Oh, yes.
Tyrell.
Lady Tyrell, yeah.
I mean,
Princess.
She's fine. She's fine. Titties all the time. It's
very nice.
That's a great thing about Game of Thrones. Yes. And good for the girl who played Daenerys. Like, you saw all her titties season 1, right? I mean, basically, like, she was a nobody, and she was half naked, getting railed from behind by big ass fucking Aquaman all the fucking time, right? And I mean, that the first time you realize he basically rapes her, right?
Basically, yeah. And
they show it on fucking on TV, and so she realized she was becoming a star. She's like, no more nude scenes. I respect that.
Yeah,
it sucks because I want to see more titties, but I understand. Okay, but Tyrell, no problem. And I think she was hotter than Daenerys, really.
Yeah.
But anyways, Joffrey's walking with Lady Tyrell before their wedding in season 3, and he drops what happens to Rhaenyra when they're walking and looking at all the dragons and shit. So if you remember that scene, you know what's going to happen. So
I know.
It sucks.
It's okay. I mean, ultimately that's going to happen at some point, but I feel like she's fighting the good fight, and the freaking guys in Westeros are just causing the shit. And I think it's a 4-season show, Kenny. So I think the next 2 seasons are going to just be balls to the wall.
Crazy.
They've set up so much character development, and it's gonna, if they don't come out with fireworks in season 3, we boycotting, because they've set it up so hard.
They shifted a huge battle. There was supposed to be this, like, the biggest battle of this era was supposed to be in season 2, but they cut back.
Yeah,
I don't know what HBO was thinking. Maybe I can't understand what HBO was thinking, because the first season was fine, but it wasn't like, it didn't make me like have to watch it on a weekly basis,
right?
Like Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
Like, it was just a lot of character development, and you're like, this has potential, right?
Yeah,
it is what season 1 was about. It didn't really go like deep into like crazy dragon fights and shit like that, like we saw in season 2. When I was binge watching season 2 to get ready for the finale, that 4th episode
where Maelys,
the dragon fight,
the dragon, yeah.
I mean, oh my god,
sick, dude. That was so cool.
Oh my god, like, I haven't felt like that after a TV episode since probably the Red Wedding, or maybe the one where
Battle of the Bastards or something.
Does the thing, and all the zombies, act like Michael Jackson and Jon Snow on the boat and shit like that. That's probably the last time I felt like that. Like, my jaw was dropped. Like, I didn't fast forward through the credits. I just sat and I was just in shock for like 15 minutes.
It was cool.
So fucking good.
And Mike, you can't kill off so many dragons.
Should cut this short, Mike. You got shit to do or what? You can get on the mic. I mean, no one's listening right now, so we're good. Oh, there's shit. Well, then, to take the mic back off, then I'm going to go over it more. Take the headphones back off.
I have not seen it, but I plan on seeing it. My wife and I are scheduled. That's our fall show. We're going to grind out everything. So
you haven't seen any of it?
I haven't.
Like, not even season 1?
I've seen like the first 2 episodes, and I couldn't get into it, and then.
They weren't great. Like, season 1 wasn't great, man. Yeah. And that's why I think, and that was my point earlier, that HBO went from 10 episodes to 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Because of that. And they cut out the battle scene, and they cut their budget. I can't, and now they have to realize that this has become Game of Thrones-esque. Like, it's appointment viewing after season 2. After the 4th and 7th episodes. Close your ears.
Yeah.
All right. So when when the way fucking Rhaenyra's aunt went out was just hardcore.
Yeah.
That shit was just fucking hardcore because she had the battle like won, and it was good enough. Like the king had fallen, you know what I'm saying? And she was riding away, and she's like, I gotta finish this shit. I gotta finish this shit. I
gotta make a dent.
I gotta finish this shit. She was fucking hardcore. I love that bitch. I love her. Like she was so hardcore, and she just turned her ass back and just got walloped. By fucking Sir.
Oh, dude. Vagar. Vagar is so badass. Yeah.
Vagar is fucking huge.
But
he went out there and just chopped up on her.
That lady showing up in season 1 too, when he gets crowned as the king, and she shows up and crashes the whole party with her.
Yeah.
Saying,
but doesn't kill.
We got my eye on you, baby. You better watch your shit because.
Yeah, but I think that's why she felt like she had to go back and do this because Damon was like, "Why the fuck didn't you just kill him right there? Like, why the fuck didn't you just blow him and smithereens? The war would be over. There would be nothing."
Yeah.
And she was like, "It's not my war to start." And I was like, "That makes a lot of sense, right?" I mean,
no, she was so like.
And then, like the way she went out, like a true soldier, like.
Yeah. On the dragon.
There wasn't any fear in her face. Like there was sadness because she's about to fucking die, but there was no like fear in her face. And I thought that was incredible. I thought the 7th episode where Rhaenyra stands on that cliff with all of her dragons behind her, like screeching and shit. That's how season 2 should have ended. That's how season 2 should have ended.
I agree. Right then. Yeah, we're just sitting on a pile of blue balls right now after season 2, and it's just, it
won't come out. Season 3 don't come out till 2026.
Yeah. You know what pissed me off the most was the girl in the wilderness after getting kicked out of the shit up in the sky. The city up in the sky where there's a rogue dragon flying a wild dragon.
Okay.
And she promised them a dragon, but she had brought the 2 baby eggs of the 2 babies.
Yeah.
And they got kicked out, and now she's like. They spent 2 episodes of her walking through the wilderness trying to hunt down this dragon, and now they could have at least given us that before. But now we're still going to wait and see if she can get this thing in season 3. We should have at least seen if she could capture this thing or tame it or die.
Oh,
whatever's going to happen.
Now I know what you're
they just honey-dicked us with every plot. There wasn't a single golden Easter egg uncovered. For us. They would just keep on. Every plot was just. Push down the fucking pipeline, and it's brutal. I was most pissed off about that one.
I understand that. There's a lot of shit you can be pissed off because of the season finale. I will say the one character that I think has done like exceptional acting, and her arc has been really, really interesting to watch from character development and acting skills. Right, was Alicent. Right. Yes. Like her character is sort of, so meek and sort of wimpy and stuff like that going into season 1. And you sort of, in season 1 and season 2, you sort of see how, power corrupts, right? Like how when finally, she's like, Aemon gets fucking, Aegon gets fucking blasted by Aemon, right? When Auntie dies in that season 4 episode. And so Aemon becomes, the king by default because, Aegon barely living. And that was some dirty shit that Aemon did. Was like, you didn't see nothing, right, bitch? Right? Grabbing his chest, like grabbing
with
his
the ball, dude. That was pushing the ball into his chest.
Yeah, into his open scabs and shit like that. He was like, you didn't see nothing, did you, bitch? You didn't see nothing. I was like, nah, man. The dude was shook, right? Fucking Aegon was shook, and I would be too because Aemon's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, he is.
That boy's a bad dude.
All of those kings with the blonde hair, they don't know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, it was wild. But anyways, we're talking about Alicent, and so, and she doesn't want Aemon because she knows. I mean, Aemon's going to be like Joffrey,
just rogue.
Yeah, just crazy. And she's like, I want to run shit. I should run shit, right? And you see and then you see that episode where Rhaenyra gets back with Alicent again, and she's like, yo, what the fuck did my dad really fucking say, right? And she tells him the story of the fucking Song of Ice and Fire, and it's actually and then Rhaenyra actually figures out he's not talking about your son, you dumb bitch. He's talking about Aegon the Conqueror, right? Which is another show that we should get because that dude seems like unbelievable,
such a badass,
right?
like Jon Snow.
They tell about Aegon the fucking Conqueror. I mean, they said they tell him through House of Dragons and Game of Thrones, and he's like a legend. Like, why they don't show that? That should be the next show.
Prequel,
right?
yeah.
But like, and Allison was like, damn, maybe like the old Allison would be like, oh shit, I fucked up. Like, maybe I should do something. I mean, she was like, yeah, it's too fucking late now, girl. I can't do that shit.
Yeah.
I can't do that shit. It's too fucking late. You know what I'm
Is she gonna kill her son though, Kenny?
Allison's gonna kill. Well, here's the thing: in the final season, the final episode, the season finale, it starts with that cold opening, right? And you see the dead body on a battlefield. That looked like Rhaenyra's son. Like, I don't know if it was, but dark-haired, curly-haired. I thought that was her son, her oldest, that was dead. In the beginning of that scene. That's what I thought the whole time, but like I don't think anyone else has said that. So maybe I'm just wrong about that, but that's what it looked like to me.
Rhaenyra's son died in the finals.
In that scene, there's like a cold, random shot in the beginning of the episode where you just see like a battlefield that's been like post war, post battle. And you just see like all the bodies on the ground, and it focuses in on the one that's closest, and it's a little white boy. It's a white young boy with curly hair, brown curly hair that's dead with something like a piece of wood stuck in its throat. I was fucked up when I watched it. So
yeah, maybe
I watched it. Yeah. I watched that during the bender. So at that point in time, I think I was hallucinating because it was the first time the season finale was the first. It was like 9:00. I should have went to bed like at 6. Yesterday on my bed, I went to bed at like 6:30 last night. So I got like 12 and a half hours of sleep. So maybe those 5 hours are different, but I don't think that should still get me sick. So in the name of science, I think I was still correct.
Yeah.
So it was like 9:00 when it was on, and so I had to wait and watch it. And at that point in time, you're up for 72 hours. You're hallucinating, basically.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
And then and I never seen the opening. Like, it always skipped it, right? And I watched the opening credits, and it's like one of the trippiest things I've ever seen in my life. It felt like I was on goddamn mushrooms or acid, and I wasn't. I was just sleep deprived. Just straight. But sleep deprived, you can get just as fucked up. Trust me. I have a story from
just takes a little bit more effort, huh?
No, when I was like 26, I was up for like 6 days straight. Like 6 days straight. I had to go to the hospital. I was seeing crazy shit. I was seeing like people out to get me. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Yes, it was drug induced. Tonys were bad. But I was up for like 6 days. And so you basically hallucinate. Way, way worse than you would on like hallucinogen. When you don't see. That's why I haven't watched a guy on YouTube who is doing the world record. He's been away for like 250 hours.
Streaming?
He's streaming. He's been away just for he's going crazy. He's literally gone insane in the head.
That's 10 days. That's
something like that.
That's 11 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea why he's doing that. I think that's...
Yeah, I don't know. Right? He said he wants to be...
frying his brain for no reason.
Yeah, he wants to be in the Guinness Book of World Records or something.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, but anyways, I was on 6 days and I was seeing like people get like running at me, and like I ran out of the house naked, being chased by people. Honestly, yeah. 6 days. Like, I had to go straight to the hospital. All right.
So, I'm so scared for Montreal.
That's not. I look. It's very rare that these benders happen for me anymore, right? I was gonna save this or something, but like, no, it's true. We can't do it.
Yeah, save it for a good one.
Yeah, we can't do a 3-hour show because I have this whole bit that I have that I plan on basically cocaine. And I have this whole bit plan, and it's like my experiences with it and like the phases of it and stuff like that. It's like a stand-up bit, right? Okay, so it's supposed to be funny, and I've been working on it. And so
we'll do it for the tour champs or something.
I'll do it on this one time. I mean, the tour championship might be bad because it's only like 45 minutes long, so people might actually listen past the exit. So, it's like by accident, Okay. But anyway, yeah, it's a bit. I've been doing it. I've been keep writing it down. Sort of this like 10-minute long comedy bit about my life and certain aspects of my life in certain times of my life.
Let's go, dude. I'm pumped to hear this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be, it's a story, It's basically an extended story time with Kenny that goes out through like decades of my life. But I don't use benders very often. I mean, like it's been like well over a year. You
did 2 in a row.
I did 2 in a row because of certain situations and materials that arrived.
You're testing the variables out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, so that is what happened. But I feel fine today.
Okay. Sounds good. That's good to know.
I think last week I literally just caught a bug. I was sick all week. I missed work. Like I had to work from home. Like I thought I had COVID. I who knows? I could have. I don't even fucking care.
Yeah.
I could have gotten it but I didn't have a fever. So I had like body chills and body aches, like I had a fever. But could have been food poisoning. Because that Monday, I ate a whole bunch of. I got home from work early. I was feeling. I felt shitty, like hungover, right? On Monday, and that's why I skipped the pod because I was just hungover. I'm not even hungover today. But I felt shitty, and that's why I skipped the pod because I was hungover. I wasn't feeling sick yet. So I went home around 2:33, and I'm feeling well from work, and I ordered from this local pho place I usually always get. And the first thing I noticed that was wrong was their broth is usually like super, super fucking dark, right? And this was like clear, like almost see-through, like not see-through, but like it was clear, not as dark. I was like, what the fuck? Like, because like usually like good pho places have like the pho soup cooking for like 7 years, right? And that's how they make like really good pho stock. Like they had this huge pot, right? And the way they make the stock, they throw all the bones and all this shit in there. And then they basically just let it cook for like years. Literally. They add more water. They add more, more bones. But they like the original from like 8 years ago. Yeah, like 8 years ago is still in that broth.
Oh, damn.
You know what I'm saying?
I can go rogue on you, yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, not that. I mean, I don't think people usually get sick from it because you're cooking the fuck out of it for fucking years. If there's bacteria in there, there's no way you can fucking live, right?
It usually heals you more than.
Yeah, I know. That's why I got it because I was hungover.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like I was like, did they knock the fucking bowl over? Did they have to fucking start over? Like, what the fuck is this? And I tried, and then another variable is I had found the sriracha in my fridge. And I was still hungover. I was looking, and I poured a little bit on it, and it was really watery and ugly looking. And I looked at it, and it was basically green on the inside. Okay, it was basically like I looked at the expiration date. It's like 2017 or some shit like that, right? For the expiration, I was like, it's sriracha. I mean, it'll be fine.
If I were a gambling man, I would say that might be the variable.
That's what
Green
I think.
Sriracha.
So I think I might have caught like, and I only put like a little bit of dribbles on there before I was like, what the fuck? And so I think it was like mild food poisoning. That's what it reminded me. But I wasn't like sweating. I didn't have the shits either.
I don't know, buddy. I don't know. Sometimes life just comes at you fast. Huh?
Don't you have any life stories? I feel like I just talk about my own shit all the fucking time on this shit.
I got life stories, Kenny, but
What
I don't
the
know.
fuck's going on?
I've got a reputation to uphold. People still think I'm a good person.
Mike is killing me right now. He wants to cut this off so bad.
No.
But
My
what's
dog.
going on?
My dog is screaming at me. That's all.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
I'll share a live story next
Let's do next
episode.
week. Let's next week.
I'll
Let's
share.
get the
I'll
fuck
think
outta
of
here.
something.
So Mike can get his dog to pee.
Thanks, Mike.